Welcome back to my channel, guys. So I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw this clip of academics talking about like why Drake and Nicki won't be like the number one rappers in the future or whatever. So I wanted to come on here, play the clip and react to it. Okay. So if you enjoy female rap, talking top rappers, Young Money, Cash Money, Drake, Nicki, and whoever we consider great, definitely go subscribe to the channel and like this video. But before we get too much into the video, I want to show you guys the site that I've been setting up on the playback app. So I've been talking about it in my recent videos, and it's basically this new app, kind of like Station Head and YouTube mixed together, but it's kind of like a whole community. So as you can see here, we got a chat, we got fem rap politics, I even got like a little video right here. The queen, look. He said Kylie was good. I said Miley was good. I said, could you pay? Yo, this is crazy. This is so dope. I really just love this. I really just love this app for real. And like, here's our Biology channel. So I'm gonna leave like the links to, download this app and follow me on there. Make sure that you do follow all of my rooms, because that's the only way you'll know like when I'm live over there. And I'll be live over there, but not on YouTube, literally in a couple days from now. Yeah, so if you want all of me, make sure that you're on the playback app and make sure that you check out the links down below in the description of this video and in the what's it called, in the comments, to like find me on there. All right, cool. So let's get back into this and let's actually see what academics was talking about, child, because that always talking about something. Okay, always talking about something. So, second. All right. No, that's not it. But let me keep that up because I do want to get into that. Okay, here it is. Okay, so it says DJ Academics and DJ Vlad debate. Are we headed towards a place in music where Drake and Nicki Minaj are no longer the number one male and female rap artists in the world? Let's see.
What should be, if you were, I don't know if you think and strategize on what rappers should do, but Drake is in interesting place. If you ask me, I've talked to him. He doesn't see the difference, right? So you have to realize he was the most streamed rapper by like 20 million. Most streamed rapper by like, I think it was like 200 million like streams last month. The month before, he's still number one by the metrics, even though I think there's a cultural conversation happening. But when you're that high up, do you really care, or how much do you get tapped into that? What do you think Drake needs to do?
Well, the question is Drake still trying to maintain that number one spot? Or has he accepted that he's now more of a legacy artist? Oh, he has his catalog.
Or do y'all think that does Drake show any signs of slowing down? What do you mean if he's trying to maintain the number one spot? That's all Drake has ever been trying to do. And number two, he don't have no choice but to maintain the number one spot because of his alleged $400 million contract with Universal. So he ain't got no choice but to put out music and go on tour, sis. So just like what Nicki said, you can't get rid of me. We cannot get rid of Drake. And based off of just basic consumption, just because Drake is that big and everybody's going to tune in regardless of what your demographic is, like Drake could literally be number one and fall off, like, and be number one, like, effortlessly.
And he's happy with that.
Hell no. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think two artists, I've watched them. I think they've lived their lives off of it. I watch every single artist in the game.
Sorry.
Kind of change and mature and evolve. I've watched Wayne realize, like, you know what? I'm going to fall back and do it gracefully. I see Jay, I think he was trying to punch for a bit, and then he was like, you know what? Hey, I'm a boss anyway. I'm good. We've seen it with every person. Drake and Nicki. I feel like they are still, like, Nicki still has that vitriol and venom. Anytime the fans even say, hey, this new girl could be number one, she's like, what? Like, she's still...
Well, you could act that way, but that's not the reality.
Well, right? You could, like, she, for example, like, even this year, she's like, yeah, I sold 200. These other bitches scared to drop. They're flopping. Like she's still like, let me go in y'all faces that I'm number one, because she cares about, she doesn't want to be seen as a legacy. Yeah. Right? Drake.
But it's not up to you. Well, right? You also want to be...
I honestly think that this tour, like the Gag City tour, cemented Nicki as a legacy artist. Like, Nicki and Drake are legacy acts for real, but um they'll eventually be legacy acts. I don't know if Drake has transitioned into the legacy category yet for real, but for me, Nicki has. Let me know if you guys feel that way. Legacy acts are usually acts like that are a little bit older, they're cemented, they're not going anywhere. You got Mary J. Blige, you got Frank Sinatra, like the Michael Jacksons, the Gladys Knight, stuff like that. Aretha Franklin, Janet Jackson, they're still up in their touring. They're legacy acts. They don't have to put out new music for real to be relevant because they're just that legacy, right? For me, I feel like Nicki has crossed a new threshold in her career. But her threshold could have been higher, but she just didn't really perform to that standard. Drake,
scene, and obviously she has a big fan base. I mean, she's extended her tour and she has a bunch of sold out dates nationally.
but this is why I also been saying that Young Money needs to have a meeting. Like Wayne needs to meet with Drake and Nicki. But like I keep saying, like I don't even know if he could really give them advice on this because Wayne, like people have said, Wayne stepped aside for real to let his artist shine. But when you are conquering, when you're becoming the number one, it's not that someone should have to step aside to make you number one. It's that you should demand that number one spot and have no choice but to give up that number one spot based on consumption, which is what happened with Drake and Nicki. But none of the artists that came after them can do that. They can't, none of these artists can have a bigger impact than Drake and Nicki. And that's really why they kind of like have no choice but to remain on top. Jay-Z can architect Megan's career, but it's not giving. It never will give because the numbers don't add up.
Internationally, you're not going to doubt what she's already done. But when you look at the most important female rappers right now, I don't think you would say Nicki is one of them. I think you would say Lotto. I think you would say
Vlad is anybody who says that Nicki Minaj is not relevant is just very weird and backwards, and I can't have a conversation with you on music. Vlad is an idiot for talking about what Nicki not relevant. Lotto, who's going to Lotto's tour? Please tell me, what is Lotto doing? Who's talking about Lotto on a grand scheme of things? Like, these girls only get talked about when they're putting out something, when they're actively promoting something. That's when you see them on the blogs. They're not holding down the conversation. Y'all male journalists and stuff like that still talking about Drake versus Kendrick when y'all have nothing else to talk about. And see, I can uphold the conversation on Nicki Minaj when I have nothing else to talk about. These other artists don't demand that of us. They don't give us that.
Glorilla. I think you would say Megan. I think these are the
So he's saying Lotto, Glorilla, Megan. I could agree with Glorilla and Megan, not Lotto.
girls that are really like that the younger fans are gravitating towards. I don't think young girls are gravitating towards Nicki. They're gravitating towards Lotto.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like a 20-year-old who's like a barb.
I mean, there's gonna be lots of barbs. Like I get it, but she's like almost 40, right? Or she's in her 40s.
Yeah.
She's in her 40s.
She's like 39.
Yeah, so she's about 40.
I only bring that up because like as you asked the question about Drake, it's about being graceful, right? It's like knowing when to turn to the OG and also knowing that you did everything as the guy that had your moment, that you kind of transitioned to being the boss and the OG, and you're still the guy just in different ways, but you don't need to be that guy, right? And some people have a hard time letting that go. I think Drake has done, like he has this one line, he says, he says his favorite thing is playing Keep Away with the Throne. I think Drake genuinely does not want to not be number one. And I think that's why he hasn't taken his foot off the gas. Like, the dude doesn't want to go on vacation. Like, I told him right after he's like, yeah, man, did 80 dates. He grossed $320 million. The next highest hip hop grossing tour is 120, 3 times the next biggest hip hop tour.
So he outdid 50 Cent?
Yes, 50's third.
Okay.
So, which Travis is about to be second, so 50's about to be fourth. So we have Drake 320, Kendrick 120, then 50, like,
let's not leave off that point. See, he leaving off that point because when we talk about Nicki and female rap and the fact that like she don't want to get off the throne, is seen as a bad thing. But academics just said Drake is not taking his foot off the gas because he said that he was going on vacation after he dropped his last album, but he ended up getting into the battle, having to drop music and doing whatever he's doing to stay on point, to stay relevant, right? That wasn't looked at, that none of them stopped and made it seem like that's a negative connotation, right? It's just, it is what Drake's doing. And I think it's the same for Nicki. I think both Drake and Nicki are grappling with the fact that they can't hold the throne forever. And not that, but it's just like a position is being challenged. Both of their positions is being challenged in different ways.
The 96 like won something, and then you have Travis Scott, but his tour isn't like complete yet.
All right, so yep, that's all I had to say on academics. But it, when we talk about these things, you have to like just like keep everybody on the same playing field for real. And even when we having conversations, because for real, Nicki and Drake is brother and sister, and they really can only be compared to each other because not a lot of artists have really been through the things that they have been through in the industry for real, for real. So before we get out of here, let's talk big three things for a second. We talked about that a couple, weeks ago in one of my previous lives. Like, why is the big three considered, Drake, Kendrick, and Cole when it really be Nicki, Wayne, and Drake who really be putting up the numbers, right? So let's check here for a second. It says, because I told y'all when we talked about it, I say usually when you see tweets that are like, oh, like rappers with the most X, Y, and Z, da 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 da, it's usually Drake, Wayne, Nicki, Drake, Nicki, Wayne, right? So let's look at this list. This says rappers with the most top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. Drake has 78 top 10 hits. Wayne has 25, Nicki has 23, Eminem has 23. We need to break that tie. Jay-Z has 22, right? So once again, when I was talking about the big three, where you see Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole at, they don't put up the same numbers that the big three of Young Money do. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure y'all know that, especially for those of y'all who don't know that. Anyway, moving on real quick. Some numbers just came out for Drake's tour, where academics was literally just saying that Drake has the highest touring solo artist, hip hop artist, 320.5 million, 80 shows in US shows only. Kendrick, who previously held the record for grossing 110 million in 73 shows, which was a world tour. So he went around the world, 110 million, 73. Drake only did the US and made 320 million in 80 shows. That's crazy. That's crazy right there. 320.5 million, 4 million average per show, 1.3 million tickets sold. $241 was the average price. So you got to put respect on Drake and Nicki for continuing to keep they foot on like these other rappers next. And not even like that, because yeah, hip hop is a competition, but it really just is like them basking in their greatness. Not only are they talented, but they are truly the highest consumed, most loved hip hop artists right now. And y'all young artists are really just gonna have to come hard and heavy to get them off their throne. But Drake and Nicki, I also need both of y'all to look in the mirror and to also come together and stop competing with each other, unite, and also stop competing to sign the same artist, because y'all was competing with Drake and Sexy and stuff like that. Yeah, I see it. Y'all not clocking it, but I'm clocking it. Anyway, thank y'all so much for listening to the end. If y'all did, I can't wait to see what you guys think in the comments. Clock me, but be respectful. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, but make sure that you guys have all notification bells on so that you never miss when I go live or when I upload. Y'all know I be at random times, okay? And also make sure that you guys download the Playback app. Once again, the link's down below in the description to download the app and find me on there. Toodles.